How many of you talk about love with your spouse every day, but you feel uncomfortable to talk about money related issues? How many of you know your spouse's favorite food, but you find it difficult to understand what are their spending habits, what are their salaries? Hi, this is Anirudh Bellare here. Welcome to the 29th video of Your Best Financial Life. In today's video, you will be learning how money matters is extremely important to make your relationship strong. And this is one of the basic core importance of your relationship standing strong. Advisory: I am no financial guru or a person who can tell you what to do, but I am seriously a person who can give you the limelight by which you can take these steps and actually implement it in your life. Let's move on to the first point. See, understand, money doesn't always break couples. It shows the reality of these couples living together. Understand. Now, what I just said, I'm going to write it down. I'll give you an example. Whenever you enter a dark room, what do you see around you? You see darkness. Why do you see darkness? It's because there is no light present in that room. The same exact important thing over here. When you take a torch in that dark room, what do you see? Wherever the torch gives out its light, that's where you can see all the things. And that's the exact same thing with your relationship with your spouse and money. You know why? It's because there is a darkness. You won't know anything about your spouse's spending habits, financial plans, unless you take a torchlight and ask the right questions. And do you know what? Questions is what makes the brain think. And that is why it is very important. See, as a perfect spouse, you need to ask the right questions. What type of questions? Together as a couple, what are you planning in the next future 10 years? How are you going to manage your finances in a way by which you can fund the particular child of yours, or you want to shift your house, or you want to buy a new car? What are the ways by which we can fund this money, make this money, manage this money? So many questions, right? But do you know what? Usually one partner does not ask these type of questions to the other, and that is where the whole crux and misunderstanding starts, because it is very difficult to solve a money problem unless as a partner you work together towards your financial goals and your relationship goals. That's why it becomes very important for you to address this point. And the dash over here, this is the rupee symbol, and this is the relationship symbol. Now, to ensure this is in the correct frame, ask the right questions, and that is what I emphasize for you. Let's move on to the second and most important point. See, how someone handles their money speaks more about them. Now see, in this relation, what I'm talking about, when a husband and wife are together, just giving an example, if the husband of the house tells his wife that, do you know what, wife? Today, I am taking this decision that I am going to buy this particular car which is worth 20 lakh rupees. Now the wife, there could be times where wife would tell okay, but there will also be times where the wife could have her own psychology in this, by her telling that, why do you want to go for a 20 lakh rupee car? Why not something costlier? Why not something cheaper? But understand, it's not about costly or cheap. The point of me telling this is that when both the husband and the wife analyze all the pros and analyze all the cons as an analytical person, where you think and understand all the things which are extremely important in taking that particular decision, whether it is step X, Y, Z, whatever the steps is. Now, see, when buying the car, giving an example of a car, what becomes important? The first thing which is most important, how will you fund this 20 lakh rupees? If that is answered, say that 20 lakh rupees comes because of the salary, are you going to take a down payment and EMI to fund this car in the next 4 years, or are you going to pay 20 lakh rupees in one shot so that you can remove the loan of the car? Very important question. The third, for how many years are you planning to use this car? Do you want to use this car and then depreciate it off in your business, if at all that person is a particular businessman? And if the car is manual or auto transmission or whatever, will it be useful for the whole family? If at all the wife also has to drive and the child as well, or the husband, whoever. Now see, why am I telling these questions that handles money speaks a lot? There are times when suppose this particular person takes a decision that, you know what, in the next 5 years we are going to buy this particular car of 20 lakhs. Just now I gave an example of now, but I say next 5 years. And then there's a time when 5 years pass by and this particular person, he thinks, no man, I don't want this car. Now see, if you're not a man of your words, then who you are? Because how you do anything is how you do everything. Whether it's buying that 20 lakh rupees car or whether it's giving a commitment to doing something at home, it becomes very important. To be that person of your words is where you do understand the importance of every relationship when it comes to money. And that is what I emphasize for you. Let's move on to the third point. See, understand, when couples avoid money related problems, things expand. Now, what do I mean by this? When couples avoid money related problems, their things expand. Now, what is this their things? Understand, the meaning of this word things over here is to do with their mental capability and emotional capability. Understand, if there is a loan in the house and the husband and wife are not synchronized together to tackle that loan, do you know what will happen? Eventually, one partner will start blaming the other, that you gave the commitment that you are going to fulfill this house loan, but you are unable to. As a result, what happens? The whole family is in trouble. Now, why am I giving this important point over here? That see, money is important, but you know what is more important than that? When you and your partner, you sail together as a boat, knowing that there is one behind the other. The partner A and partner B, they together, they know each financial situation of each people as in together. They know that they are working together. Whether person's A salary is 80,000 rupees and person B's salary is 1 lakh rupees. You know, at times, I'm not telling this whether the higher salary is going to be of a male or a female. No. I'm not telling all of this. What I'm trying to tell here is the person whose salary is more predominantly tries to dominate the other spouse. You know why? because that feeling of importance comes in that person at home. There are two lives, professional life and personal life. In professional life, how much ever good you may be, but in personal life, if you're not able to take care of your spouse, whether your salary is 80,000, 1 lakh, or whatever it is, do you know what? Before that person goes back to the professional life the next day, all the emotional problems and stress will build up in that particular person. As a result, you know what will happen? That person A, the spouse A, he would want to go back and vent out all his problems to either his friends, parents, or dear ones. Because he will slowly start avoiding money problems, money discussions with his fiancée. And that is where the money problem lies. And this is what I've been trying to tell from the first point. Maybe these 3 points are interrelated so much, but the whole root cause lies down in communication. And that is why choosing the right partner who understands the finance game and together you both can sail on the same boat becomes extremely crucial. Otherwise, there are so many cases whereby money related problems have gone to a very big expansion, that whether it is the husband or the wife, emotionally they are fully drained when they get back home. And this should be avoided. And how will this be avoided? First thing, questions. Second thing, conversations. Third thing, sailing on the same boat. And how do you sail on the same boat? When one of your wife or your husband need any financial help, you take the initiative and support your husband or your wife, so that the good deeds you have done will eventually come back to you in the form of karma. And that is why this point is extremely crucial. Let's move on to the next point. See, talking about money early will give the risk appetite. Now, what do I mean by talking about money early will give the risk appetite? What is this incomplete answer over here? See, people generally, whether it is husband A or wife B, understanding each other is extremely important, as when it comes to also understanding the type of risk whether the man or the woman can take when it comes to finances. See, what I have seen in my personal life, not in personal life, in my friends and family's life, that sometimes the man, he wants to ensure that his investments are safe. And there are times when the woman feels that she can be an aggressive investor by getting those high returns, but at a cost of risk. And there are times it could be vice versa also. Now, why am I telling this important point here? See, risk appetite becomes extremely important, because if you know what is that particular goal of the person A and the goal of the person B, you can eventually comprehend, or you can say complement together. If one person likes to run the horse race fast, it is always better that there is a person behind the horse who can ensure that it's okay, you run the horse race, but I will still stay behind you. What is the meaning of this? Now see, for me to make videos like this, you know why I make videos like this? It is because my dad is behind me. He tells me, Beta, don't worry, I am behind you. I have got you covered. Do whatever makes you feel happy. The same way, if the woman takes risk, the man should be responsible, saying, you take the risk, I am behind you. Same situation, if the man takes the risk, the woman be like, don't worry, I have got your back. This one word, don't worry, I have got you back. Do you know how important that word is? It can change so many things emotionally. And that is why I keep referring to this point again and again, that you have to have the back of your friend, especially in this concept, your spouse, not a friend. And that is why this core concept of risk appetite when it comes to investments, your real estate, your gold, or whatever type of investment, one should always have the back of the other. You would have heard this quote, right? एक हाथ से ताली नहीं बजा सकते. What is the meaning of this? With one hand you cannot clap, but with two hands you can clap. What is the meaning of this? You always need the support of something else which can complement your first thing. That's why 1 plus 1 always gives you 2, and this is why this concept is extremely crucial for you. Let's move on to the next point. See, the next point boils down to stress. Now just imagine a hypothetical situation whereby before a particular person passes away, he leaves a lot of debt for his son and daughter. Now, how will the son and daughter ensure that this debt is cleared? Do you know what? The son and the daughter, they will keep thinking, if this debt is not cleared, the creditors will come and be behind me. And do you know what will happen in that situation? Your heart rate will increase. Your amygdala in the brain will keep fluctuating. A lot of problems will occur. And that is why stress is one of the biggest killer. And especially in relationships, when it comes to husband-wife relationships, understanding how to eliminate the stress by being together is the biggest thing you can do. Where one person, the breadwinner in the house, tells, don't worry, I will earn that income every month for you. The second homemaker in the house tells, don't worry, I got your back. I will ensure that I will be the best investor for you so that you can take the risk in your organization. And me as a homemaker, I will ensure that your finances are grown in such a stage that we can enjoy our life with this money and also retire well. And that is why this point, stress, is a literal game changer over here. Now see, understand, why do you think I'm making videos like this? I am not married, understand. I'm young. That doesn't matter. Do you know what matters? The intent. And do you know why I put videos like this for this intent? It is because I want your relationships to be the best. I've seen a lot of hardships in life. And I'm imagining the day I get married, the same conversation I will have with my spouse. And do you know why? Because clarity is important, and when it comes to money, it becomes all the more important. And that is why it is extremely crucial that before marrying the person you love, you take a wish list about what are your future financial goals together. Also, one more extremely crucial example. A husband-wife who's earning 30,000 each. I know it's a very small salary, but understand, a husband-wife who's earning 30,000 rupees and 30,000 rupees each, who together love each other and know their financial situation, they support each other, is any day more happier than a person who earns 1,50,000 rupees and the other spouse is not interested in being behind the back of the sole breadwinner of the house. It's like telling, if suppose the breadwinner of the house keeps full authority and control over his finances, not letting the homemaker know about the breadwinner's finances, it creates a real problem in the long run. In short run, nothing you can see, man. Nothing you can see. Whether it comes to whatever stocks you buy or mutual fund or whatever, in short term, there's a lot of unpredictability. I mean, yes, There is a lot of unpredictability, but in the long run, because of these conversations, you can ensure your relationship goes smooth with time. That's why being happy, sukhi rehna, always be happy. And the more you give, the more you get. Remember. So always tend to share a lot of love, whether it is your wife, whether it is people around, because eventually, someday, it will eventually come back to you. I really appreciate you watching this video till the end. See, I might have repeated most of the points, or I might have not made this video interesting, but understand the core fact and point over here. This video will help you to ask the right questions, to gain that clarity with your spouse, which I'm again and again repeating. Because whether it is stress, whether it is these things expand, whenever it is in money and relationship, whether it's your risk appetite, your emotional capability, every single thing will eventually boil down to money. And once your money thing is sorted, that's where your money related problems get closed and choices of life opens up. I'm really happy you watched this video till the end. If you really like this video, you can do share it with a lot of people who actually feel that before getting married, they have to ask important questions. Because questions is what makes the mind running. Thank you so much.